Signature decks are a difficult thing to do, and it's difficult for a couple of reasons. When you create a signature deck, you're kind of making your brand a little bit more personalized to you specifically. Now, of course, fans of your brand are gonna love it. They're gonna eat it up. They're gonna buy as many of them as they possibly can. But what about the outsiders, the people that maybe don't know who you are? Well, let me just say that is a non-issue for the person we're gonna be talking about today. That is right, everybody. We are back with another episode of the Fulton Tapes.
Let's go.
Today we're going to be taking a look at the F is for Fulton playing cards. This is the signature deck by Brad Fulton, and you know what to do. Make sure you drop a like on this video and subscribe, okay, if you haven't yet now. That one's important. Also want to give a quick shout out to Brad for sending me these decks. I really love them. I'm very glad that I have a few backups. All right, now I know what you guys came to see, so let's roll the trailer for today's episode. So like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, signature decks can be tough. You don't see a lot of them out there, and the ones that you do see have to be well justified. For example, a popular signature deck out there is the X deck by Alex Pandrea. That deck is personal to Alex, but it has so many different touches on it that are applicable to everybody that the decks sell really well, and there's multiple versions. But on the other hand, you have things like the Daniel Schneider signature deck, which appeals more to the cult of Daniel Schneider, his hardcore true fans. Me being one of them. This deck is, for all intents and purposes, a signature deck. It's got Brad Fulton written all over it, both literally and design metaphorically. Design metaphor. The tuck box is definitely for Fulton fans. For Fulton fans, say that 5 times. There are some callbacks to the clip joint playing cards. If you look closely at the tuck box, you can see some of those pips in there are reminiscent of the clip joint design, which again, very cool callback and already makes a signature deck a little bit more special. Now you guys know my steez on this channel. I don't want this to be a deck review, but I do want to talk a little bit more about some of the details of this deck that I think make it stand out as a signature deck. Now when you're doing a signature deck, it is important that you make bold choices, because ultimately at the end of the day, this is a deck that represents you. However, like we talked about earlier, that does also create the issue sometimes of having something so personal that your customers don't quite relate to it. I would say Brad found a fix for that issue and went full force Fulton on the back design. So you can see Brad's face is the design of the deck, and that is a bold choice. You see people like David Blaine, Daniel Schneider, myself, a lot of people that go to the trouble of having their faces put onto their court cards just for that nice little bit of customization. Brad went ahead and put his face on the back of the cards and saved us room for Arco standard faces. You guys know on this channel we love us some Arco standard faces. I can't get enough of how good they look. They're so vintage and they kind of have that, I don't know, chunky look to them, but on a deck like this, it looks fantastic. And the theme of this deck is a magic bar, which I think is really cool. Kind of think like a downtown LA hangout for magicians. The design of this deck with like the thicker borders, the vintage faces, definitely has the vibe of a downtown LA magic hangout. I think that that was a really nice touch and kind of a cool theme to follow throughout this deck. Speaking of themes, giving you a quick look at our Ace of Spades. Looks very similar to the Fulton's clip joint ace, and I really like that. that. There's kind of a theme there, goes with the legacy of Fulton playing cards. I really like that. But by far, my favorite custom card in this entire deck is the Joker, which is a caricature of Brad himself. Looking handsome as ever, I might add. He's kind of wearing what I would call the full Fulton uniform. He's got the cape and the hat, kind of like a magician. You can see he's got his gloves in there. You've seen Brad dressed like this in real life, so looks really cool. I would also like to say that whoever did this caricature did really well. This looks straight up like it came out of a comic book, but the lines are so clean, yet so detailed. You can make a stencil out of this deck, and I really like that. And of course, something that always bears mentioning on this channel, these cards feel so good. They come from USPCC, so you know they got that buttery feeling, and you know they feel extremely good right out the box. Now, I will make sure that there is a link in the description to Brad's website. I don't know if these are out just yet, but they might be. If they are, I'll leave the link, and if they're not, I'll still leave the link because you want to be first in line when they do come out. I really dig these. Gotta say a big shout out to my man, Brad Fulton. Thank you so much for sending me over some of the decks. I hope you especially enjoy this video. As well, if you guys want to follow kind of my journey or my relationship with Brad Fulton, make sure you check out this playlist right here. That's the Fulton tapes. It's every time I make a video in relation to Brad Fulton, you'll see it there. So if you like these types of videos, you know, do that. Also, of course, make sure you like and subscribe for more awesome videos just like this one. You know, those likes really do go a long way. I don't like to mention it too much, but every once in a while I have to, so make sure you like the video. And finally, if you guys want to win some cards, if you're a fan of Chris Ramsey or the First Playing Cards brand, check out this video right here. I'm doing a giveaway, and one of you will be winning some First V1s along with a couple of other decks. So go check that out if you haven't yet. But other than that, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I know I will. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.